Let's make history. Because the territory, now known as the Upper West Side of Manhattan, is right off the waters of the Hudson River. People always flock there, and this is tens of thousands of years before even the arrival of Henry Hudson and then the Dutch. Just like the Upper East Side, the Upper West Side is comprised of three neighborhoods. One, Lincoln Center, which used to be a black/Puerto Rican enclave known as San Juan Hill. You can have a look at my video on that, the history of San Juan Hill before there was Harlem. But it's the Lincoln Center district. There's this weird area from 72nd to 96th Street, which is just called the Upper West Side. It doesn't have a name really, it's kind of strange. And then above that, once you get to 96th Street, there's a natural depression in the earth stretching all the way up to 110th Street. And that is a neighborhood known as Manhattan Valley. It's almost considered sometimes an extension of Harlem. It's not Harlem, but it's kind of an extension of Harlem. You have a housing project there, Douglas Projects. I grew up not far from there, so very familiar with the area. I had my first job for summer youth was in that neighborhood of Manhattan Valley. We didn't call it that, but that is the technical name of that neighborhood. All of that was pretty much farmland, just like everywhere else in New York. A wealthy English merchant named Charles Apthorpe Jr. acquired that whole area. It was called the Apthorpe Farm during the 1700s. And even today, hundreds of years later, there's a luxurious building on the Upper West Side known as the Apthorpe. It was also a road that went all the way from Lower Manhattan up into the Upper West Side and beyond, called Bloomingdale Road. That is the current day Broadway. The name was changed down the line, but the area of Manhattan Valley at one point was also known as the Bloomingdale District, or just Bloomingdale. In the mid-1800s, New York City got its first elevated train, and that was along 9th Avenue, which was later renamed, as it is today, Columbus Avenue. Then you have the Museum of Natural History, where you could go see the reconstructed dinosaur bones. That was one of my favorites as a child, and it was meant to be America's version of the British Museum, which I believe has surpassed that. On its opening day, then President Rutherford B. Hayes was even in attendance. Then in 1904, you had the Underground train, the subway, which opened up on the Upper West Side. And even though that took off, the 9th Avenue elevated train still remained in service all the way up until the 1940s when it was finally dismantled. The Dakota, the hotel where Beatle John Lennon was killed, is in the Upper West Side on 72nd Street. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to WillFloresTV on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and X.